What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another deck profile here on the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the Midoriya 1 Retro deck that I took to Retro Webcam Wednesday. This deck is an absolute blast, huge blast from the past for me personally, as I am such a massive Midoriya 1 fan. This character is very special to me, and I think this character has a lot of stuff to be said in the retro format, specifically with reversals, which we'll talk about. What does this character do? Very simply, he says, enhance, name an attack zone, high, mid, or low. If the next attack that your rival plays is that zone, then the move gets -3 speed. As well as enhance, once per turn, discard your entire hand, your punch attack gets +10 damage. So you sacrifice your hand to give some massive moves. The coolest thing about this character, in my opinion, is whenever you do happen to play a reversal, which is an attack that you're allowed to play on your rival's turn, again, we'll get there, you are allowed to double up on the top enhance of, you get -3, you name the zone -3. So I use Midoriya's ability for -3 speed to, let's say, a high attack, that's what I call, and then I block guy reversal, I'll play an attack on your turn. I could then use Midoriya again to call either a second zone, or if I know the high attack is coming, I can name high a second time and it gets -6 instead. It's very, very cool interaction. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the deck that I played. And the first card is, welcome back, Back Alley Haymaker. 4 mid for 5, stun 2, EX2, draw a card or build a foundation. It's just a huge value card. A little outshined, a little outclassed inside of Retro. Glad to have it back. Hot take, probably could come back for Standard as well. But this card is just like a very good opener. Feels good to just accrue that extra advantage in the same way that Hardened Jab does. It's a 4/3, 3 mid for 5 that either builds a foundation off the top of your deck normally, or lets you take a face down in your stage and add it back to your hand, and then replace it with a face down from the top of your deck. The fact that it lets you either build a fresh foundation on turn 2 whenever you're attacking, or lets you replay one of those super cool flipped abilities, and /or, it's just got a really gnarly 1 high block. This card, just like its stats and all-around ability, are just like really, really good for the deck. Up next is our main kill card, and that is for Texas Smash. This card is asking you to deal with a 7 damage move, and then we can discard cards from our hand to make our next move massive, which is not that big of a cost because Midoriya at some point in the turn is looking to discard your entire hand. And so it's possible that like people don't interact with the Texas Smashes because of the fact that like Midoriya can pump so many big stats that they'll just take 7 damage on the chin, and then you're like, that's fine, I wasn't gonna discard my hand for later stuff anyways. This card feels very good as a very strong piece. Up next, down from the normal 4 of, we're only playing triple reverse throw. So this is a throw punch, so it wears Midoriya's discard very, very well. And it says, if the attack deals 5 or more damage, draw a card. This card's fine. It probably could have been cut down to a 2 of just to like play other interesting ideas. And it felt like this card was just like a little bit too slow for what the current retro meta was looking like. But all in all, it gave me enough value that it felt valuable in the deck, but I don't know if 3 is the right number. And then on to the real reason to play this character into Retro, and that is the reversals. We are playing 4 copies of Spirit Charged Punch. And Spirit Charge Punch says, enhance, the next attack played this turn gets +3 or -3 damage. It is your choice whenever that attack is played. And so the cool thing that you do with this card is you take and you block with a card, block your opponent's move, and then you respond with this card out of your hand in order to play it onto your rival's turn. So you'll go through the entire attack process on your rival's turn. So let's pretend they've played 2-3 moves. They've got a couple cards in their card pool. You block, then play the reversal, and then you use Midoriya to discard your hand. Hey, I got a 4 mid for 14 coming your way on your turn. You either have to spend resources blocking it so that whenever it gets back to my turn, I then have an easier time to clutch out the game, or you just don't block it and I just dome you in the mouth for 14. It feels really, really good. The one of the absolute main reasons to play this character, it's also got a crazy 1 mid block. This card feels really, really good. And then we have a second reversal that is doing the same thing in Sohokeki. I think that's how you pronounce it. comments, let me know. 4-3, 4 mid for 4, that the same stat line up here, but it's got a 1 low block instead of the mid. And this one says, if it deals damage, I get to take a face down foundation and put it into my momentum. Feels pretty good to just build in a free face down with hardened jab and then get it and use it as an extra resource immediately. And then it handles the other stat that the Charged Spirit Punch doesn't handle, and that is the next attack this turn, mine or yours, gets +3 or -3 speed. So it's like a doubled up on what Midoriya is doing, or it's like a setup strike to be played on top of things like Texas Smash. And so like playing this into this feels very, very good, especially when, as we are done with our attacks, it generates a momentum for the best action in our deck, and that is just plus ultra. Being able to take and double the speed of any of my moves. I won a game off of the back of this card all by its lonesome. I played out a raw Texas Smash without the combo, and I just played the Texas Smash, gave it +4 speed because of the momentum that I had, and then discarded my hand to make it 13 to push it for lethal. It felt very, very cool. Again, if you want to watch the deck in action, you can take and go look for, I have the match up over on my YouTube channel. The last action that we have in the deck is just a 1-of Capture Evildoers. Momentum generation in Retro is very good, and the momentum uses in Retro are very good, and so I just thought like a little bit of stealing of momentum might be okay. It's got a solid 1 mid block, and the way that Breaker works, you can block and then Breaker them so that the next check that they play, no matter what, gets minus, and then proceed to play the reversal, so that the check to block this is a little bit more difficult. And so like it's like a cheeky little combo that you can do. It's nothing crazy. Onto the assets. We were only playing one. It was just Team Dr. Ichigai. Reversals are sorry, my idea of block, reversal, dump my hand is a little fragile inside of Retro. Like there's easy things that you can do to stop that idea, and so just having like a blanket cancel on the good symbol feels very, very necessary in my I'm gonna discard my hand to try and stop you ability. And so this card just feels pretty good. Onto our foundations, breaking it up into the jobs. First, our aggro foundations, our aggressive foundations, and that's just for note-taking. Flip your punch deck, it's +2 speed. Very good whenever you're discarding your entire hand of, I need to make this 1 move count. I'll flip 2 of these and go, hey, I've got +4 speed. It's just as good as a plus ultra at a low cost of flip, and then you can use things to rebuy it back. And then, unbanned in Retro, we've got triple Wonder Nature. This card's great. I'm going to be discarding my hand anyway, so why not get the added value of discard for essentially +2 free speed? Is this their block modifier is a little worse. And if I don't want to use it to that, it is good as an accidental damage pump whenever I use Texas Smash. Wonder Nature has the response of the +1 damage, but it doesn't care if it's its own ability that discards or if any card is discarded. And so I will just use Texas Smash, discarding a card, respond with any Wonder Natures that I have for the extra damage, and then move on with my day. And then my last aggro card that I have is just double self-sack. This card is a bit of an aggro card because it can find you the extra points that you need in order to find that one-hit kill. But it's also a pretty good defensive card. I don't mind destroying my entire board to make sure that I get one turn, because all it takes in my deck, if you commit out and put your defenses down, I just need 1 attack. As long as I can pass the 1 and keep Midoriya ready, I can bop you. Onto some flow. We've got double pull no punches. So a little bit of flow, a little bit of disruption, a little bit of aggro on this card. This card like lets me cheat progressive by destroying and taking a punch that's in my card pool and put it into my momentum so that I may use my cool momentum abilities like the plus ultra, which feels very good. On like the 3rd attack, I can plus ultra and it feel great. And so like some really easy ideas are like I play back alley into Texas, discard for the next one to get big, use the plus ultra, or use the pull no punches to put it in, play out the reverse throw, and because this one's gone, this is no longer on a 7, it's just on a 6. And then since I've generated the momentum here, and this has gotten bonus damage, we plus ultra here, saying it's now a 9 damage move because of the Texas. It's now an 18 damage move because of the plus ultra. It's now a 28 damage move because of Midoriya. And so like, there's some really cheeky, kind of pretty big damage moves that we get to do. And we want a momentum to start the whole thing off, and pull no punches lets us grab that momentum to begin with. And also, like, if they go to deadlock, it's just a really good wall breaker. Up next, the undeniable best foundation in the deck. It's just 4 passing the torch. If my hand is empty, I get to redraw. When I go in for that kill, and I'm using so many abilities that discard cards out of my hand, I need to be able to refuel them back up. I miss passing the torch. I'm sure everybody misses passing the torch. The reason to play Retro is so I can play my 4 XR passing torches. Up next, we've got 4 destined for mainstream success. Another MHA 1 staple that has been sorely missed. Enhance flip, name a card, reveal, name a card type. If it's that type, add it to your hand. You always name attack to make sure that there are hopefully not attacks on top of your deck. It just shows you that there is a foundation so that you can swing out big and wide. Onto the defense now. We've got double always cool. If they're going to be playing a really big bomb at the end of their string, I can just respond and say it doesn't get the damage. This card saved me in a lot of games when I was playing it tonight. And this card's other ability is I can add it up to the card pool to build the top 2 cards of my deck in face down, which is really, really good when we are playing jab wherever it went. Boop. And so this card just tactically works well with always cool of I'll build it up, build 2. Oh, this is a card that I wanted. I'll play the jab and pick up that card. Feels very good. Up next, defense-wise, we've got triple bonds of friendship. Flip your free attack, it's -3 speed. I have it in defense because it could exist in flow if we really wanted it to, just because it's a 1/6 1 high block. We're running it for stats, but there is making my opponent do bad math because the amount of DR that exists on this card is very, very good, especially whenever you combine it with self-sack. Sometimes you just get a free -4 damage because of these 2 cards working in tandem. Feels pretty good. Onto the disruption, which this deck has a lot of disruption in the form of triple Keiko's Aid. Response after you block, the next attack is 2 harder to play. Feels very good to block a move, respond with Keiko's Aid, respond, play a reversal. So not only do they, on the turn that they think they have to kill you, not only do they have to play around a 14 damage reversal, but they also have +2 difficulty to their next attack that they play. And so they have to deal with this and then deal with this on top of it. Normally, by dealing with this, they have to represent a block, which means they've put another card in the progressive, which means it's not +2 to the next one, it's +3 because they're natural progression. Yeah, this card felt very, very good to play. Probably could drop down to a 2 of, and we could find one more spot for something a little cheekier, but I enjoyed it as a 3 of, but do a little experimenting. And then on the other end, we've got Journey West, a very, very cool card of Enhance Flip. If this attack is not blocked, your rival's next attack gets +2 difficulty. So it's Keiko's Aid without being forced to block. And this works on, I'm going to Enhance Flip on your attack. If I don't block your move, your next one gets +2 difficulty. Or even better, I will take and I will block reversal and then play the Journey West on my own move and say, hey, if you don't block this one, I will Keiko's Aid you. It felt very, very good at a 2 of. I don't think that I would push it up any further past it. It felt really, really good. I liked it a lot. Next, we've got double Lost in Thought. This was to deal with onboard answers. The good symbol is notoriously bad about like dealing with the things that are on your board. And so just a quick point and click, hey, get rid of that. Worked well with the face down plan that we have with the jabs and the always cool building and some stuff. But honestly, it was there just for the point and click. Hey, I gotta get rid of your things. Up next, all of our spam is all disruption in some way, with 4 It Can't Be Fixed being played. Being able to build these in with back alley feels very good, but if they commit a card in my stage, including my character, which happened at least one time, I can flip it and then build the top card of my deck. Which feels good, especially in multiple pairs. It's also got a gnarly 1 high block. Feels great. Up next, we have Keeping Airy Safe. 0 mid for 5. If committed, just re-ready it back. Plays really well in tandem with It Can't Be Fixed. And then my last one was just triple Surprising Skill. This card if one of my moves are, if one of my foundations are committed, I can flip it and you commit one instead, which felt very good, especially whenever we got to replace them. The committed, I could commit, it can't be fixed, respond, flip, rebuild, respond, and then you flip one. And so I didn't go down my resource, even though it looks like I did, and I made you commit one. So it just said that like anytime that I got any combination of these two plus at least one surprising skill, you just felt like you weren't allowed to stun me unless you were gonna over stun me pretty severely. But there it is. There is Midoriya. A couple of new tricks get unlocked inside of the retro format, and it is an absolute blast to play. If you want to play in the retro tournaments that we are hosting at the end of every month, make sure you come and you join my Discord, which will be in the link down below. Would love to see you guys and play some games. With that said, thank you much for watching the video, and as always, I wish you well.